Alright, now I have to click on this. What?
Keep it together.
Mrs. Dad.
I just completely hijacked this. I can't.
Hello, everybody. Damn you, Eric. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition online role-playing adventures. We live stream our sessions... When do we do it? Every Friday. You can keep up with our adventures on YouTube, as well as catch weekly recaps on RogueWatson.com. I am Chris, your Dungeon Master, and I am joined by our awesome players. Eric playing Kazon, the Half-Elf Warlock Paladin. Hello, Eric.
What?
I don't know. I was trying to get through that. I'm not doing a great job.
I'm trying to keep it together.
Heather.
You're doing a very poor job.
Heather playing Bryce as the Tiefling Sorcerer. Hello, Heather. Reese playing Tim, the Warforged Cleric Fighter. Be my rock, Reese.
Alright.
Rochelle.
I'm your rock, Chris.
Rochelle playing Corinne.
What kind of rock?
Just keep me steady. Rochelle playing Corinne.
Rocks don't talk.
Oh, I see.
Hi.
And
I'm
Raymond
sad.
playing Halfred, the Halfling Ranger. Hello, Raymond. Raymond's waving from the background.
That's unusual.
Payment's flipping us off in the background.
We use Roll20.net for our tabletop campaign, Skype for video chat, and I am recording it all using Open Broadcaster software. Previously on Storm King's Thunder, the party entered the mines beneath Morgar's Mound. What they found inside was a collection of dead bodies that seemed to have been beaten to death by the same rock constructs they had faced earlier. Delving deeper, they discovered that the thick webs covering the walls were the home of countless swarms of spiders. They proceeded to proactively blast every web they could see with spells. Coming to a small alcove, the spiders briefly overwhelmed them, crawling upon Kazon and attempting to do the same with Bryce's. But her shield spell and Corinne's mage hand kept them off long enough to destroy them. Inside the alcove, another dead man killed by spiders, with a note hastily scrawled detailing the betrayal by a member of his own party named Jairus, who took an artifact they had found and killed the others. The mines drew west past some deep chasms, one of which Kazon hopped across, only to discover a young man. The man appeared human, but Kazon deduced that he was in fact Jairus, and when confronted, the man attempted to charm Kazon, before being implanted himself with a suggestion instead that he not harm Kazon and company. Letters
Never
are hard.
put me amongst chasms again.
Yeah. And tell them everything that happened. Jairus' shape changed, revealing him to be a demonic Cambion, and he detailed his manipulation and betrayal of the dead people to acquire an artifact, and told them that though he could not hurt them, his pets could. From the chasms, a swarm of imps and screaming devilkin brought a paddle to the party. I said paddle, and then the image of imps with paddles was stuck in my head. The creatures were numerous, but not terribly powerful, and the party began taking them down. Meanwhile, Jairus attempted to mentally manipulate his foes instead of outright harming them, attempting to navigate around the implanted suggestion. However, once his pets had been destroyed, he simply attempted to flee. That is, he would have, but a deft trip from Tim sent him sprawling into a chasm where he started to fly out, but the party began pelting him from above until his lifeless body dropped to the bottom.
Sally's been reduced to alcohol.
Bacardi. Halfred flew down to recover the artifact, the Banner of the Krigg rune, before the party left the mines. Outside, the mage construct had awoken, and Tim and Kazon began interrogating it. They learned that he had been created from some other creature, a blue dragonborn, but that his soul had been forcibly removed, making him little more than a thinking construct who obeyed his mistress's orders without question. He knew little about his mistress's plans, locations, or even her name. All Kazon could see from his telepathy was a dark cloud of lightning and armies marching across the desert. This mistress had created Tim, apparently, and she desired his return. She also wanted Corinne, as apparently the Blue Dragonborn were supposed to either worship or obey her, but Corinne hadn't even heard of her. Distraught and frustrated at these revelations, Tim beat the captive construct to death, releasing it from its sad, soulless existence.
Always a good plan.
Hero.
Graham crackers on its body.
And Tim and Kazon, you guys can have a point of inspiration for that little exchange.
It has been a while for me.
Yeah.
I don't think we've gotten one for the last 2 weeks, honestly.
Probably not, yeah. They made plans with Harshnag to split up, go to Raven Rock.
Bad players? No. Bad DM.
Bad DM. Split up, go to Raven Rock, and then go back to get their hippogriffs and meet back up at the Great Worm Cavern. With a few farewells, the party set out, back through Xantharl's Keep and onward to Mirabar. And that is where you all are at now. Halfred, before we get going, I do want to show you, because you disconnected at the end there. I wanted to show you what you're carrying. The Banner of the Krigrune was the artifact that you gathered from that Cambion. I'll let you read it at your leisure. But it is a banner that emanates courage and shields allies unless you see invisible things. And you are currently...
Do I wear it?
You currently have it. Yeah, you wear it. And it sort of... It says that... while unfurled...
Okay, I'll read it.
Yeah, okay.
I'll read it.
But yeah, you do. Yeah, you wear it. Okay. You guys have left Xantharl's Keep.
Did I attune to it already?
It's up to you. You don't have to. We didn't make that choice for you. It does require attunement to use its abilities, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what.
So is this like a scarf? Like an ascot?
It's a banner. It's like a
It's an ascot.
like a pennant that you get from like old like sports things. Do you guys remember pennants? I used to have them up in my room. They're like triangular pieces of fabric.
Yeah.
We know what pennants.
Okay. I haven't.
Could you,
You know,
wear it like an ascot?
I haven't.
The pennants from sports things.
From sports things. I haven't seen one in years, so I don't know if
Picture him like having this little flag. Like, go team!
Hold on, little guys. Let me unfurl this.
Jafar, he's our man. Yeah. It's like, I'm inspired.
Yeah, it's like that.
All right.
But it said it is 5 feet long and 3 feet wide, so it's
Good lord.
it's bigger than that.
Bigger
That is
than
not
Alfred.
That's huge.
I imagine it more like like old medieval movies when a dude with a
Bigger
stick,
than Halfred.
a dude with a spear would be like riding in the front
Standard bearer.
of the standard. Yeah, there you go, one of those type things.
All right. That's a giant ass flag.
Yes. that is
All right. And how do you wear that, or do you carry that?
You could.
Do you like throw it over your shoulder like a shawl?
You could attach it to your back like a cape,
That sounds
suppose.
cool.
and it would just because it does say that it whips about as if in wind whenever
Oh
it's.
yeah.
So it won't like drag on the ground if it's on your body. It will keep itself propped up.
It's like the Doctor Strange
What?
Cape.
robe cape thing.
Yeah. All right, you guys have made the 2-day trek from Xantharl's Keep to Mirabar. As you approach Mirabar, as you get close to the southern gate of Mirabar, you see a commotion ahead of you on the road. You walk up to the front gates of Mirabar, and there's a crowd of people gathered around the front gates, and there are guards.
It's time to shine.
A crowd of people. And in front of them, guards are trying to
Here's our psychotic robot man.
Hello, crowd of people.
Understands gatherings.
My chance to recite poetry.
That's right.
And there are guards at the gate. There's about maybe 25, 30 people in front of this gate right now, and there's 2 guards at the front telling people, as you walk up, you hear them saying, now hold on, we can only do 5 at a time. It won't be very long now. The boat's about to come back over.
The boat?
That's what he said.
This doesn't look like the boat kind of town.
If you don't
Let's see
remember,
what's going.
Mirbar is positioned, if you can see on the map, it's positioned at where a river breaks into 2. So there's technically 3 rivers coming from it. And it sits in the middle. So there are technically rivers on every side of Mirabar.
I guess it is a boat kind of town. Alright, so what are we waiting for? There's something at the end of this line.
As you you guys just waiting, because right now you're just waiting in line. You're waiting at the back of this group of about 30 people. Or you just... Are you just
If there's a line,
Yeah, you're just gonna wait in line? Alright. You wait in line, about half an hour passes.
I mean, I might ask somebody, like, what's the holdup?
Alright, you ask somebody in the line what the holdup is, and they say, the bridge into Mirbar, the bridge over the Mirbar River, it's been destroyed, I hear. They're having to ferry people across to get into town.
What a pain in the ass. What?
What happened to the bridge?
She says, I hear it was giants. Came up in boats they did, and threw rocks at the bridge till it was passable by their great longships, and then just sailed right on by.
Dicks. Well, according to this map, that river leads right up to Great Worm Cavern, so...
Surely that can't mean anything.
That's unfortunate.
About an hour and a half goes by, and about every 20, 25 minutes or so, another group of like 5 people get to go through the gates, and then you guys get up to the front, and the guard says, it'll be just a moment now. The ferry's coming right back. How are you folks doing today?
I mean, it's been a long couple weeks, I'll be honest. So what happened with the giants here?
He says, it was damnable it was. These frost giants came up on their longships, began throwing rocks at all the bridges. We sent men to defend them, but I don't think the giants had any intention of getting off their ships, and we don't have all that many of ballista and catapults, that sort of thing. We weren't quite prepared for this sort of attack. They destroyed the bridge, I suspect, just to get past, and then just sailed their longships east, down the river again.
How many ships are we talking?
Says 6 rode up, I believe, and then once the bridges were destroyed, I think they said 3 of them turned back down the river, and 3 went east.
So they came from the west, but some of them split off and went back to the west?
That's right.
Okay.
Just after they destroyed the bridges, the general of the town, captain of the guards, he sent an attachment east to try to track down the longships and see what they could find and attack them, perhaps, if they felt they were able, but it's been a week now and they haven't come back, so I don't suspect anything good has happened to them.
Did the bridges deserve that?
Did they deserve it?
Answer the question.
I would say not. The bridges didn't do anything to those frost giants. Except block their way, perhaps.
That doesn't sound right at all.
One of those,
Do something about that.
Whatchamacallit systems.
Well, we don't.
Hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah, we don't know what that is.
Well, I got an idea for you. What if we could let ships pass through? So do ships not normally pass through here at all, or is it just because their ships were gigantic? Or what's the story?
He says, ships pass underneath the bridge every day. It's big enough for most normal-sized folk. Vessels. But these giant longships...
Sizest now.
These giant bastard ships... I am sizest. For good reason.
And nobody saw all this fleet of frost giant ships coming down a river? Like, they must have taken them a couple days.
He says it likely did. We didn't have any word of it from Luskin. And they'd be the first to know, being at the mouth of this river. Unless they came from the north, I suppose, but we didn't see that. They could have set sail somewhere in the what is it called? The Black Raven River. They wouldn't have to pass through Luskin. We sent an entourage down there, down to Luskin to see what's going on there, but that's been a few days and they haven't returned. It takes time to get back and forth between cities.
Don't we know it?
A few more minutes passed and the ferry arrives. And he escorts you aboard. And the ferry crosses the Mirbar River. And you all arrive safely in Mirbar. As you guys walk through Mirbar, you hear lots of, like, the city is kind of electric right now with talk of what happened a week ago. With these frost giants. But other than that, the town doesn't seem to have been destroyed at all. The damage seems to be focused entirely on the bridges. And you all are able to find a place to sleep for the night. Fairly easily. The innkeeper is charging 1 gold piece per person per night.
Does that include breakfast?
It does.
Nice.
And as you rest here in Mirabar, you feel yourselves become stronger. What is this power? And you level up to level 8.
Hey.
Yay!
All right.
Let's start from the top. I think we started from the bottom last time. So let's start
Overwhelming.
Start with you, Kazon. What is Kazon doing at level 8?
Kazon is taking his 3rd level of Paladin, which gets me divine health. I am now immune to disease. And also I have to choose my sacred oath.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going with the Oath of Devotion. So that night, Kazon will kneel down in a meditative stance and swear an oath to restore giant ordning and avenge Zephyros's death and protect all those whom the giants would destroy in their wake, but also try to not necessarily kill all the giants, just sort of try to heal their broken society. And also root out and destroy this K society that wields psionic power in such an evil fashion. And with those, that gives me the Oath of Devotion, which gives me a my Channel Divinity, which of course I'm flavoring as channeling Psychic. I spelled that wrong. Psychic energy. Sick chick.
Sick chick.
Channel Cyclikids. On a short, I get 1 use of it, replenished on a short or long rest, and I can either essentially pump up my weapon, sacred weapon, for 1 minute, add my charisma modifier to attack rolls, which right now is a +3, and it also sheds light in a 40-foot radius, 20-foot dim, 20 bright.
Okay.
Or I can use it to turn the unholy, where I essentially do a mass fear spell on any fiends or undeads within 30 feet.
Okay.
And then
You can see them 30 feet.
and also it gives me 2. I don't learn any new spells as a 3rd level paladin, but I get 2 bonus spells as a Oath of Devotion. And those spells are Protection from Evil and Good and Sanctuary. Which Protection from Evil and Good is a concentration spell, and one creature is protected against a bunch of different kinds of creatures: celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, undead, aberrations, and anybody that attacks them has any of those creatures has disadvantage on that target. So I can either cast it on myself or somebody else, but it is concentration. Sanctuary is a bonus action, no concentration, and for a minute, I also cast that on one of my team members, and then if any creature tries to attack them, that creature has to actually make a Wisdom saving throw to even be able to target them.
Ah, okay.
I know that spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I get a 3rd 1st level spell slot, and I think that's it.
All right.
So a whole bunch of little shit.
Yeah. Open up some new abilities for yourself. All right.
Lay on Hands is now worth 15 hit points because I have 3 levels of Paladin now.
Nice. Okay. Would you like to roll your d10, please?
Yeah. So is this a naked D10 or do I include my con? I forgot how we did that.
We'll add your con afterward. Roll a naked
Okay.
d10 first.
Okay.
Would you like to take your
Front
6?
Yeah.
So 6. What's your con modifier?
+2.
8 HP.
I'm at 70.
70. Nice.
Shit.
Okay. Brysis,
That's me.
what are you doing at level 8?
Not a whole lot. Got an
Destroying the
ability score
world.
improvement, and I learned a new 4th level spell. That's about it.
Alright. What are you
So,
improving with your...
So I chose to improve my charisma by 2.
Okay.
So now I am maxed out in charisma.
What is it now?
20.
20. Alright.
Holy crap.
That's crazy.
I now have a +5 in charisma.
Gotcha.
Jeez. Alright, you're now talking to everybody.
It makes my spell save DC 16, I think.
Wow.
Wow.
And then for the 4th level spell, just because I thought it could be really, really entertaining,
Yes.
I took
That's what we go for here.
I took polymorph.
Ah,
Yes.
that's... that is always an
That's a
exciting
good
spell.
one.
Yep.
That smells so good.
So...
God, as a DM, I hated that spell.
I was about to
so
say,
much.
Bryce, here's something I would ask you to do over the course of the next...
Here comes the banhammer.
No, what I want you to do is just send me a list of like 4 or 5 things that you think you'll likely be polymorphing people into, so that I can have those prepared. Because we don't want to, do this on the fly if we can avoid it.
Bryce.
Okay.
I just thought of a great idea. I don't know if you thought of it. I'm going to whisper it to you so the DM doesn't have a chance to ban it.
Here's this exploitive method.
Don't let him know he can work around things.
We never used polymorph offensively, did we? Or did you guys?
I was casting T-Rexes all over the place.
No. I mean, cast it on an enemy and like turn them into like a
Oh.
mouse or something.
No, because it's just...
They,
It'd have to be like a... Well, whatever.
I mean, they would just come back once.
They would.
Either it ends or you kill the caterpillar or whatever.
I always read a story like they polymorphed somebody into like a rat and then had their like familiar hawk swoop down, pick it up, and then
just take it
drop it
away?
from like 100 feet. Yeah, because all the damage carries over.
Yeah, that's yeah. That would probably work. But I don't. No, I think you guys love the T-Rex, the King Kong and the T-Rex.
Ah, the fucking King Kong in the ocean, motherfucker. Call back to our Princess campaign. I
yeah.
grappled you. Nope, now he's a King Kong.
How are you grappled?
Yeah, now this will be the slightly psychotic tiefling is now going to be able to polymorph people
All right, that's
into
great.
things.
You should
So
choose
yeah,
like, things too, just to make it interesting.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Just keep you the monster.
Yeah, bring me the monster maid.
Is there any rule on it, or is it just literally anything?
I think it's
It's
a
beasts.
beast. Yeah.
Oh, it's beasts. Okay.
Yep.
The one thing I don't understand, though, and Reese, you might be able to explain this to me later, is the challenge level. Is that equal
Yeah.
to our player level?
No. Each creature has a challenge level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to think of what the ones you just faced were.
Sir, Google search D&D Beasts by like CR level. There
CR,
should be like
yeah.
a list.
Okay.
Called
what-
challenge rating.
What level then would I need to focus at?
I mean, at level 8, you can do a damn near any beast. I think
Yeah.
they only
I-
get strong.
I think the thing is T-Rex is the biggest beast
Yeah.
available.
Ah,
I think
The beasts sort of cap out at a certain challenge rating.
right.
Okay.
They're much more powerful creatures than beasts, but
yeah, I forgot it was beast.
yeah, those guys are at higher challenge rating than our non-beasts. So
Here's
Well,
the
we
other thing
can-
about the your offensive use of polymorph is that they get a saving throw,
They do.
Yeah.
so it could fail, versus a willing
Yeah,
participant.
it's a wonderfly high saving throw
It
there. I don't know
is.
if you know
16 is
that.
pretty solid. Yeah.
I think I put that in right.
Okay. Would you like to roll your d6?
Sure. Hey,
Straight
there we go.
6.
Wow.
What's your con modifier?
1.
1. So 7 HP.
I have 51 health points.
Nice.
holy crap! What am I doing over here?
You've made some missteps along the way.
I have the regrets.
Tim silently watches everyone getting stronger throughout the night, and just his face is sad.
Taps his twice screwed on leg.
Yeah, that's the problem.
My leg. It's all your fault.
Wow, I have a +8 to attack with a DC save of 16.
Yep.
That's really good.
Yeah.
It's not Halfred good, but it's really good.
No. No one's Halfred good.
No, it's
Let's be
Halfred
honest.
good.
All right. Tim.
That is a pretty good reason why my HP wouldn't be as big as I feel like it should be.
Right, yeah. You've been horribly scarred twice.
Yep. All right. I am taking my 3rd level of fighter.
You're a little fighter.
Put that in there. There we go. Which means I get to specialize my fighter. And I'm going to go. Crap, what was it called? The one you had in the previous campaign, Chris?
Battlemaster.
Nice.
Yes. So I get 4.
That's a cool one.
Or is it 3 or 4
Uh,
superiority die?
You have 4 dice and 3 maneuvers.
Okay, so I have the wrong number on the die already. Good. I'm
4
choosing.
d8s.
Yeah. Parry.
Ooh, defensible.
All right. Yep.
Yeah, so I can reduce their damage.
Oh, that's cool.
Rally. I can increase some of his health points temporarily.
That's a bonus action. Nice.
And that word.
Repost? Repost? Either
um,
repost or repost. I'm not sure which one it is.
I always said repost.
Repost. Misses. You can use your action spell. Oh, okay.
Reposts if you're posting something again.
So yeah, I can basically counterattack.
Kind of, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Like super tank on all 3 of these.
Yeah.
hmm And then I also get a artisan tool proficiency, so I can do wood carving now.
Makes sense.
Thank
I-
goodness.
yes,
Any
I have
carve
no-
is
You can,
the different shapes.
You
exactly.
can duplicate this thing I have.
Alfred is carrying around
Yeah.
a robotic guard over there.
Wait, so can you make yourself new feet now?
I can make them pretty.
Yeah. Carved symbols all into himself.
Uh-huh. I think that's all for the level.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, half of the items in my equipment list are pretty useless.
Well, usually you sell those things.
Page 32.
I don't know. That's so long ago. I don't know what that means anymore.
Yeah, you have been using that grabber arm.
That's true.
Yeah, dude, you're supposed to sell some of this shit.
It just takes so much time to have Chris look it up and pick a price.
Well, now it does, because you got a million things.
Tim, would you like to roll your D10?
I would.
Oh no!
To take
He would, but he's not gonna.
I have never rolled above the half plus
half
one.
plus- yeah.
Ever.
Yep. All right,
All
6 plus what's your con?
2, so 8 more points.
8 more points.
I'm at 62.
62. All right. All right, Corinne. What are you doing?
So-
What else?
Corinne also enhanced her charisma. So that's at 18 now.
Nice.
And
We're the most charismatic party ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
For whatever reason.
learned a 4th level spell, Wall of Fire.
Ooh.
So
Oh,
that
I
lets
looked at that
me
one.
make a wall of fire, which sounds pretty cool. Or ring of fire.
Okay.
And can cause damage on one side of the wall, which is cool. And then also I am swapping out my mirror image spell for counter spell.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, that's a good call.
hmm
Yeah, I
Counter
wasn't
spell.
super using mirror image ever, so
Yeah.
it's felt like I
Damn,
needed
it
another
just
reaction
saved
one.
my life many times.
Yeah. Counterspell is well. That also is very good. All right.
So, regular counter spell?
Why are you gonna bring up like your alternate rules from the last game? You don't say anything. Then what's in the book?
I want to make
is...
sure now.
Well, where
He
are?
needs you to suffer as he suffered. This was his cross to bear.
That's yeah. What about?
That's like the kid asking a teacher if they forgot to assign homework. What you just did right now.
No.
We're all gonna beat his ass after this session's done.
I like my ass.
It's him!
I forget what our contrary counterspell rules were. What was different about them?
It was like you had to roll to see if you knew what spell was about to be countered. Because regularly, you can just even cast it after you know what spell and damage is being done.
I made an Arcana check to determine what
Yeah.
you thought spell they were casting. And then based on that information, which Reese probably 75% of the time, because he had an insane Arcana skill check, was able to figure out what it was. But there was occasionally that time where it was like, it's an evocation spell, you know? And they're like, do you want to
Right.
counter that?
That's right, because
It's like a little mini game.
because tabletop. I remember the reasoning. Our reasoning. But
Not
it
a
was good.
fun. It was a Mario Party mini game.
The reasoning
The
was tabletop D&D. Your DM would say it and then start to roll damage. And Reese was waiting to see what the damage was, and if it wasn't too bad, he was letting it through.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Corinne. It is in the house rules that I copied over. You feel free to beat Tim's ass later. He did do
All
that.
right. And I told her she'd have the opportunity to change that spell if you wanted to.
I haven't picked another spell, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go with that.
Other spell forthcoming DM.
Okay.
What's your Arcana?
Not
skill?
good.
Not good.
Not good. Well, yeah. When Reese was telling me about this, he didn't remember like what you had to roll for it, but my Arcana is not good. But
It's based on intelligence. Yeah.
Based on charisma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
base it on charisma.
That is interesting. Let me think about
Based
that
on your
because
spellcasting modifier.
you are not an intelligence-based caster, so it would be
I think he just called you dumb.
fair.
That's
My
You
intelligence
know what
is
her
the
name
next
is.
one.
So I'm gonna change that. Yeah, I'm gonna change that to be it's a check based on what your spellcasting ability is. So it would be in your case it would be a charisma check.
Well,
All right.
plus proficiency though too,
Right.
because Reese was proficient in Arcana,
Yeah.
and you would assume that she'd be proficient in her
In
spells.
spellcasting. Yeah. Okay.
I don't
So
like
it-
those odds.
It'd basically be like rolling your roll that you would use to cast a spell, like an attack spell,
Right.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
like the chromatic orb,
yeah.
which is probably a plus 8 or so. I don't know what your numbers are.
Let's see.
I'm not sure which. There's got to be one of the abilities. It's probably it's +7 because that's
Yeah,
that's
7.
deception. Yeah. So if you want, when it comes to it, you could click on deception or intimidation to actually check that roll because that would be the +7 would be the roll. Well, you already have advantage on charisma saving throw, so you can click that too.
Okay.
That's also +7. Any of those will work.
Ooh, I see it.
Okay.
Or
Sounds good.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah. For the wizard, Arcana makes sense, but for these from the gut spellcasters, that I think that works better. Okay.
Man, there's some options.
Would you like to roll your d6, please?
3.
3. Took a 4. What's your con?
1.
1. So that's 5, and then you get another 1 from Dragonness. So 6 HP. Which takes you to what?
49.
49. All right. Finally, Halfred.
Finally,
What is Halfred
Halfred.
doing?
he gets ability score modifier, but I will save that to the end just to make things easier.
Okay.
He also gets a new ability, Fleet of Foot. It's a dash action, bonus action on your turn. So, throughout his journeys, all this walking around has caused Halfred's thighs to enlarge.
His
Oh,
thighs
my.
engorged.
The thickest of the thick.
Good lord, man!
The scars on his arms and back have hardened.
Cut you open and drain you.
He can take hits better. In fact, he welcomes the pain.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
Anyway.
oh wait,
Tim
Alright.
is worried.
I didn't quite save it. I'm gonna roll my hit or my HP dice.
God damn it.
Oh, so you're doing Constitution, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and now you're gonna roll your hit dice after that. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So 6.
6.
Plus my cons modifier currently is a 1, so that's +7.
Okay.
One of the 5 of us rolled higher.
Yeah.
You're really bad luck.
Yep.
So 66.
66. All right.
Now I will do my ability score increase of my Constitution, a 12 to 14,
All
bringing me to a
right.
+2
So that's
So
per
that-
level, right? It's
per
retroactive.
level. That
Just
gives
add
me
a hit point
8.
for every level. Yeah.
Right. So I get 8 hit points extra.
Yep.
That's why I did it at the end.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
use- So 66 plus 8 brings me to 74.
New leader of hit
Wow.
points.
Yep.
Up in the air, Ranger.
You're super range damage dealer.
What
Who
is
never-
a
You get up
quipper?
here.
What?
And that is my level up.
All right.
One of quippers.
Whippers are like piranhas.
Ooh, are you reading the monster manual?
I also don't think a swarm is eligible for polymorph.
It's a beast. It's a beast.
Well, I think you could I don't know.
It's on the beast list.
You do a single.
But yeah, can you do? Yeah, I don't know if you can do a swarm of something.
Ah,
Can
Sorry,
you
I also
create
found
someone's
sequels.
consciousness?
I could turn something into a seahorse.
Yes, you could. How very useful.
Go forth, mighty seahorse.
It just
Or a
it
killer
just
whale.
flaps on the ground.
A killer whale would be amazing. Just like all of a sudden, it's this huge fucking whale in the middle of the battlefield.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun.
See, what I want to see is you polymorph like a creature that's currently flying into a whale,
Just watch a whale fall out of the sky.
and then we can make the other. Was it the Hitchhiker's Guide reference?
Oh right.
Plant one for.
What is a sturge?
It's like a mosquito bird.
Yeah, it's a good description.
It's a hummingbird except it stabs people with its mosquito.
Viscous.
Yeah.
Hey, Kazon, you want to be a sturge?
That sounds terrible.
Unless they need to
Would-
fly away.
Don't they have like 6 HP or something?
Yeah.
It's
Probably.
bonus hit points.
Yeah. All right. After you all have a really good night's rest and you feel stronger the next morning.
Halfred working on that thigh master.
That's right. Alfred comes up. He's considerably thicker than you all remember him.
I want a new roommate.
He just grabs you and sits you down.
Spot me, man. Spot me. Like, what?
What's going on?
Encourage me. Oh, God, you're the man. You can do it. I want to go
Corinne, do you
sleep.
hear Kazon crying?
Yeah, you guys wake up to a hearty breakfast, which Halfred has 2 of. Use the protein. And you are free to leave or do some business in Mirabar or wherever it is you have to do.
Let Halfred sell some of the shit.
Yeah. If you want to go do a little bit of shopping, you can do that.
Yeah.
Alfred's gonna hang on. Alfred's just hanging on to all his shit. He's gonna
Going for the high score.
build an altar to all just the garbage that he found on his adventure.
I'd like to sell my ruby.
Your ruby, all right. You guys, rubies.
I want to like buy some horses or something just for this leg to Raven Rock.
I can turn one of you into a killer whale. We'll just ride up the river. At least for an hour.
You could do that.
I like it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Just polymorph them with chairs and saddles.
You're all it's also once you guys get into Mirbar, it is very cold right now. Like it is.
Oh, we're riding that whale bareback.
Yeah, like it would be a very intensely cold experience to ride a killer whale through the frozen rivers. Tim, you walk into a jeweler and put the ruby in front of him. Roll an insight check.
Yes. I always roll well.
Turns out the jeweler is a sexual predator.
He is a sexual predator.
I know all your secrets. What?
I like keeping secrets.
I won't tell anyone. Tim, The jeweler tries to keep it low key, but you see his eyes get very wide when he looks at this ruby, and you can tell that he is like shocked by what you have just put on his desk. But he tries to keep it under wraps. He tries to keep his face calm, and he looks at you and he says, "I'll give you it's a solid stone for sure. I'll give you 500 gold pieces for it."
Tim taps it on the counter, saying, "Yep, pretty solid."
Yes, solid.
500.
500.
Seems something this solid should be worth much more than that.
Jeweler says, "Well, I suppose you know your gems then, do you?"
I know the size of your eyes.
He says, "Damn. It's a fine jewel, sir. It's a very fine jewel. You take it to anyone else and they'll snap it up quicker than you can blink. It's worth twice that. I'll give you 1,000 for it."
1,000? How much gold do you have back there?
I think I'm rubbing off on Tim.
We're gonna rob this place.
Turns out I don't want to sell this at all. I just want to take your money. He says, "That will about clean me out, sir, but this stone is worth it."
So you'd be temporarily destitute.
Temporarily.
That pleases me.
Good enough. Sold.
All right. He very happily takes the ruby from you and gives you 1,000 gold pieces.
Wow.
I would like to offer up my oil painting of landscape with diamonds.
There's a rock.
You have any more money?
He
This
does
is very
not.
sparkly.
He looks at it and he says, "Those are real diamonds in the sky there. That's a rather nice painting, but I can't afford anything else right now."
Might you know of a fine art dealer nearby?
Children will go hungry.
I brought home a painting and a ruby. You won't eat for weeks.
But look, dear, a ruby.
Let's see here.
A man was found murdered in his own home tonight.
Next to a painting of diamonds in the sky.
He does direct you to an art dealer in the nicer part of town, and you go to him, and he looks
Wait.
Was he not selling the ruby to the nice part of town?
Well,
There's a nicer part.
Could have gotten more money.
Tim just wandered into the equivalent of a 7-Eleven. I was like, what about this? The guy's like, oh my god, I'm closing the store. This is more than I've ever seen in my life. You could have bought that man's store.
yes.
But they don't usually carry more than 100 gold pieces at any one time.
That's why they have that rule.
Was this man you were talking to behind a glass wall?
Yeah, exactly. He raises the thing. Pass me the ruby. You take it to an art dealer, Corinne, and he looks at it and he says, "I know someone who would buy this right away. I'll offer you 250 gold for it."
250 gold. It has diamonds in it.
He says,
Diamonds.
says, "Well, they are diamonds, but no one's going to be taking these diamonds out of the painting. It's part of the art, you see."
But it's by the, well-known artist, Monet, who often painted with diamonds. It's one of a kind.
Roll a, what's the lying one?
Deception.
Deception. Roll deception, please. He looks at you. "I've heard of no such artist named Monet."
All right, 250 gold, you say?
250 gold, madam.
Gold.
I couldn't lie my way out of this. Here's my deal.
I'll go back to the first one.
Hey, how much would you have paid for a ruby?
Actually, I do have something.
The man says, I don't deal in fine jewels myself, sir.
Okay. I think I got ripped off. How do you know if you got ripped off or not?
Says, when it comes to art and of all kinds, jewelry, paintings, it's rather than the eye of the beholder. There's no way
Beholders?
you have... Beholder set all our prices. You were saying you had something, Bryces?
Yeah, but I'd have to find a another jeweler.
Clean out all the jewelers in town.
You ask around, and you do find another jeweler who is kind of in an even worse part of town than the one Tim went to.
He's just selling watches out of his trunk, basically.
It's an old lady. And you think it might be her living room, but she has jewelry set up that she's
There's
selling.
about 40 cats just all over the place.
Can I tell if it's at least nice jewelry?
What is it?
No, like the jewelry she has set up to determine whether or not I want to sell to this lady.
Yeah, it's nice. She's got the jewelry itself is sort of what you'd find in like an Etsy shop, but it's got real gems in the jewelry, and that's what the actual value is.
That's why I like real gems with tacky art.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I have this radiant-looking emerald cube.
Radiant emerald cube. Do you remember where you got that radiant emerald cube? Does that sound...
Page 84.
That sounds specific, but I don't know. Let's see. 30. You don't remember where you got it? No? Okay.
I'll just hold on to it for now.
Okay. I'll figure out how much it's worth. That emerald cube is an oddly specific phrase. I gotta imagine that's something specific, but... It would, yeah. Anybody else? For those of you who didn't hang on to your winter traveling clothes, you are aware that you're about to head back out into the frozen wilderness.
Yeah, we'll buy some cloak thing again. What's it gonna cost me to get a nice Stark Game of Thrones style?
Game of Thrones style? A Stark winter
trip
coat.
to IKEA.
Yes.
You find a
Game of
guy.
Thrones branded is an extra 500 gold on top of the original price.
That's right.
Oh, God.
Do you want the Stark branded one, or the generic?
No, I want the great value brand.
You go to a clothier who is selling large fur wool-lined. Unfortunately, it's a dwarf shop, so most of it's not really sized for your body type, but he does have a couple in stock. He has a polar bear coat that will fit you, Kazon, that he is selling for 40 gold.
You're in the big and large section.
Do you have one made out of Yetis?
He says, "My God, no, but that would be amazing."
Damn it!
A Yeti cloak.
Carved that up and sold it.
If you ever manage to get a Yeti hide, bring it to me, please. I will happily make you the finest winter coat out of it.
$40 gold. That's a lot for something that doesn't actually give me AC.
All it does is protect you from the cold. It says you could try wearing one of these ones that are sized for us dwarves. I don't know how
It
well
would
it'd
be
work
like
for
a
you.
crop top on you.
It'd be a little bit of a crop top.
Not sure how a crop top will keep you warm.
I'm gonna try to cast Friends on him, and as I'm talking to him and doing the whole Yeti thing and just kind of chumming him up with him and casting the spell
Okay.
mentally, so I can try to get advantage on a persuasion check to get that price down.
Okay. What are you telling him as you're trying to persuade him?
That he should sell this to me for a cheaper price because I am on a divinely ordained. We are going to stop the giants from fucking up this city like they just did. Like, we are actively going after and solving the giant crisis of which Mirbar just experienced a horrible attack. It is a pain in the ass for everyone.
The dwarf is nodding along, listening very intently to your words. Roll a persuasion check with advantage, please. 21. He says, I know you now. I recognize you. You're the saviors of Nightstone. Aren't you?
We go by the Graham Cracker crew now, I believe.
The Graham Cracker crew. I may have heard that as well.
Of course.
You've been all over. No one's seen you all in weeks, though. Thank the gods you've come to our town to help us.
It's a big world out there. We've had to jump around quite a bit.
He says, well, in that case, I'll only charge you for supplies. I paid the hunter 50 gold for this pelt. That's all I'll charge you. I don't want to make a profit off of someone who's trying to save our town.
How much?
50.
See, the original price was 40.
Oh, sorry.
I don't understand how haggling works.
10. It was 10. He paid
10 gold is better.
Yes. Says, I paid the hunter 10
All right.
gold for this. For some reason, I was thinking
10
4.
gold.
I was thinking 400 in my head. That's why I was like, cut it by a quarter.
All right, 10 gold it is. I slap that and promise him that we will endeavor to do our best on the giants.
Okay.
All right, what do I add? What is this thing?
Polar bear coat. It is a pure white winter coat that will protect you from the cold.
I'd like to find a ladies' clothier place, please.
For fine clothing or adventuring clothing?
For, I guess, adventuring.
Okay. You find a place that sort of makes stuff for like miners and hunters and all sorts, and it's run by a woman, and she's specifically making clothing for those type of folks. And she greets you and asks you what she can do for you.
Need some warm traveling gear.
She says, you
Capable of being moved in.
You're heading into the wastes? Up into the mountains, are you? That's a dangerous place.
For the mountains, maybe.
Mountains, yes. I have this fine set of clothing that will go over any armor you need to wear. It's made of cragcat pelts. It'll keep you plenty warm. Head to toe, I promise you. I'll give it to you for 30 gold.
Head to toe?
She pulls it out, and it looks like it's like what do you call it? The kind of suit you'd see someone wearing at like an Arctic facility, where it's like full on like pants that go over your clothes and a jacket and a hood. So it's like full
And
body.
gloves?
Yeah, full body clothing.
Wait, 30 gold? You got a deal, lady.
She says, "Thank you. It's a pleasure doing business with you. Good luck in the mountains."
Put that on my rabbit fur boots.
All right.
I picked those up at some point, too.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. Anybody else?
I guess I need to get some winter clothing also.
All right. You're back at the same place that Kazon was shopping. He has one more set of clothing for a normal-sized person, a medium-sized person, not normal. It's a fur cloak made out of brown bear. It's got dark brown. It's got a large hood, and he offers you also 40 gold.
This will go great with my scarf and a Russian winter hat
Yes.
that I kept for some reason.
Well, now you need it. Russian winter hat.
What?
I assume you haven't been wearing it this entire time.
Everybody's just looking in their backpacks for like the first time all campaign.
What is this stuff?
Like, what is
I
this?
have kept this in my backpack because I thought it sounded really funny if you wore it all the time. Sort of forgot about that part.
Yeah.
But... Okay, how much?
40 gold.
All right. Let's throw down a pile of gold in front of him.
Thank you, sir.
Now I have a coat, but do you have any hats and or boots to go with it?
Did you go with Bryce's or are you with Kazon and Tim? So 2 different stores right now.
Oh, I missed that part.
Okay.
I don't know which one's better.
Well, either one will work.
All right, I went with
to make
Bryce's.
ladies' clothes.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm looking for these clothes.
Yeah, she has. In fact, she looks at your Bryce. She looks at your rabbit fur hat, rabbit fur boots. She says, "Oh, I've got a matching pair of boots for your friend here, and a hood that will keep your ears nice and warm." And she looks at you. I don't think Dragonborn have ears, so she sort of shuts her mouth and says, "It'll keep your head warm."
How much?
She says, 20 gold for the set.
All right, sold.
So you've got a rabbit fur boots and you've got a rabbit fur hood. Now,
Hopefully no one from PETA is watching.
I know, these are all... There is no such thing as non-animal fur coats in this world. Anybody else doing any shopping?
Oh, it's good. It's got a bear fur cloak.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, you guys are able to set out. You do have to wait in line because the river that crosses the western bridge has also been destroyed by the frost giant ship. So there's another line of people gathered at the western gate.
Town literally like hanging over the middle of a river.
It's I don't know how to draw you a map, but it's like a Y shape, and the town is sitting right in the middle of the Y. So there's no river on the northeastern side of it, but on all other sides there are rivers.
Poor town.
Yep. But some time goes by, and your turn on the ferry comes, and you're able to hop on the ferry.
Oh wait, do we need to buy like horses or something?
Or do you want to? If you were to ask a horse, I don't know.
I'm gonna ask a horse. Horse, do you think I should buy you?
The horse tells you that.
Nay!
Oh.
All right then.
My horse. You ask a horse whisperer, and he tells you.
Man, I chose the wrong career path.
I don't know what they're called. A stabler, someone who raises horses. And he, when you start talking to him about what you're doing, he doesn't want to sell you horses because he tells you they will not survive that trip. He says you're heading into the northern hills. You're heading into the spine of the world, and pack animals or riding animals will just die in the night. That far north.
Does nobody ever go up there?
He says, not by horse, they don't.
What do they do? What do they use?
Their own 2 feet.
There's some kind of goat type creature.
Says there might be, but I don't sell them here.
Is it better to take that river up? Because I'm seeing a river that goes up right to Raven Rock. I'm going to ask somebody.
Yeah, that horse guy has got opinions on that too. He says...
horse guy, let me know what you
You have opinions on everything, don't you, horse guy?
I'd like to look at Kazon since we're outside and just turn him into a mammoth.
Horse guy,
Oh, God.
That should be big enough for all of us to ride on.
that is a solution.
That is a solution, yes. He does say that if you look at the map, following the river up will be considerably easier on foot than going through these hills that are in this area. He says these hills are where any riding animals will pretty much not make it. But if you follow the river, you shouldn't have to go up and down very much. You should just be able to follow the bank of the river all the way north to your destination.
But how long would they survive?
He says once you're in the hills, riding a horse would survive probably a day and a half. The second night...
Not bad. Do you have any discounts for a day and a half horse?
He will not sell you horses now that he knows what you're doing with them. I'm not selling my horses till they're dead.
Well, we'll eat them afterwards.
I also need a free bag to dispose of the horses.
They won't go to waste if that's what you're worried about.
Oh, God.
Now,
the man starts
does he
crying.
mean like...
I spent my entire life raising these horses.
They're like my children.
You mean travel up like the bank of the river, like just following it on foot, or like literally get on a boat and go up the river?
He says either one would work, but he doesn't know of a good way to he doesn't know of any ships that are currently making that trek.
Okay.
So what he was suggesting is by foot, just following the riverbank.
Okay.
Is there someone who's selling a boat?
You could go to the docks.
Only we took that folding.
You can go to the docks and ask.
We would like to permanently borrow a boat.
That's true. Why would the horse die? Traveling or sleeping in the cold?
At night. He says it says as long as they're moving, they'll be fine. But as soon as you stop, and
how about if we keep them inside this fortress of ours?
So they have to keep going at 55 horse speed per...
Or they explode!
Or they explode! He pumps them full of nitrates. Yeah. Come down to Jim's discount horses. They only last 72 hours, but what you get is a doozy.
At the docks, you talk to some of the ship folks, and you can buy a
Ship folks.
You can buy a keelboat. I don't know what a keelboat is for 3,000 gold.
You guys curse a lot.
3,000 gold.
3,000
How
gold.
much to rent
Like 3
the
rubies.
boat? Oh.
He says you can. What do you call it? What's the word? Hire a ship.
Yeah.
There's a better word
Charter?
for that. Charter.
Steal and murder the crew.
He says you can charter a ship.
Charter, thank you.
They're charging 1 gold piece per mile, which in this case, this trip would be 80 miles downstream, and then another about 100 miles because it's a winding river north. So it'd be about 180 gold.
For all of us or each?
Each. So you could do that.
We wouldn't have to walk.
Sounds
Wouldn't have to
reasonable.
walk. Yeah, seems like pretty shitty territory.
You also
I
wouldn't
choose
have
to take
to.
the boat.
Okay, you also wouldn't have to do any sort of because it comes with men, a captain, and 3.
It's a party crew.
Tell us more of these men.
It's a package deal. I mean,
Clothes optional.
No, we pay extra. Do we get to choose the men?
No. So if you charter the boat, it's one captain and 3 sailors, which he says any business between you and the sailors is your own business. I got nothing to do with it.
I hear you loud and clear, my friend.
Wink.
Are they seamen?
Occasionally.
And we're done. Back it up. It was a good show. Thank y'all for coming out. Sure to tip your waiters and waitresses. Everyone have a good evening.
He just doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
It's like offers off the table.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want your business.
It's too late. I've already got like a handful of margaritas.
Here we come, boys.
I didn't have to go through 4 years of shipwriting school for this.
Finally, use these salt-rimmed glasses I've been hanging on to.
Ooh.
So the guy says, "So do you want the ship or not?"
We're absolutely going on your cruise, sir.
We let
Alright.
him know that it'll be a round trip visit, though. There's no way in hell am I walking back because he left us there.
Okay. You tell him that, and he says, "And how long will the?"
It's gotta be like because this doesn't go anywhere else.
Well,
I guess
he'd
he could
probably
go-
just sail back. Yeah, I probably wouldn't stick around.
Yeah.
We don't plan on staying there very long.
He says, "Not long as in 24 hours, or not long as in a week."
We'll say a week to be safe.
No, well, once we get there,
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say no more than 48 hours the max. 24 hours, preferably.
You don't
for
know how
us.
far up we'll have to walk to get to Raven Rock from the store.
Wow, that's true.
He says, "Well, the general waiting charge is $40 a day per person, on top of the mileage cost. Is that acceptable?"
Wait, we have to pay per person for it to wait on us?
That's right. Consider it as more like seats than anything else.
What if you cut that in half? Then what do you say?
For 20 gold per person, they would wait no more than a day.
Give
Are
us-
you or are you not the captain?
Give us
Says,
2
"I'm not."
days. 2 days max at 20 gold. And it'll be good.
And what? Roll a persuasion check.
And you're doing it for the good of the country, damn it.
He says, "The crew won't be paid, won't stick around for that little gold, I'm afraid. It'll be 40 gold a day. I can have them wait for up to a week there in the north. You'll only be charged for each day that you're gone."
All right, how
What do
about
you consider it a day?
we pay our voyage there, and then we'll pay you however much long we need you to wait when we're done waiting.
He
Like when
says
we get out of.
he says that's acceptable. Generally, the cost of the trip is paid ahead of time. None of the extra charges. So you pay me the 180 times 2 for a return trip
Oh, we gotta pay the return trip up front? Mm.
per mile.
Unless you want to walk.
So bad with walking.
What if we paid half now and half later?
Think of all the caroling we can do.
Tim has sold
Look,
me.
man, there's bears out there.
Says
Think how
we,
much bigger my thighs will
That
get.
need to hear the sweet human voice.
says we don't accept half now, half later. There's no guarantee you'll ever return, and the ship's got to be paid for the voyage.
Oh, you've done this.
So it's $360 per person, and then whatever the overage charges is for as long as they wait. You'll have to pay that upon your return.
Does he know anything about Raven Rock?
You ask him, and he knows that it's that whole area is just overrun with barbarians up there, and he thinks Raven Rock is one of the barbarian sites, from what he understands.
Can he say if any differences between traveling by river versus traveling by land, and how close he could get to Raven Rock and all that kind of thing?
He says that his ship can get you right up to Raven Rock, right up to where the Black Raven River ends, which is close. He says, traveling by foot, you're liable to run into any number of dangerous creatures and barbarians. I wouldn't advise it. My ships are the safest way to get there.
Oh, now he's selling it.
Think of all the new friends we can meet walking.
Well, I'm willing to pay the price, but just because we're fairly flush with cash, and travel by boat seems the way to go.
Agreed.
Tim is disappointed.
Hopefully it doesn't take more than a day of being there, though, because I don't want to pay up the ass for those overcharges. Otherwise, we'll have to murder the crew and commandeer the boat ourselves.
Hey, you wouldn't want that, right?
Are you saying this in
I
front
don't
of
tell him that.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. I hope we don't have to
is
murder the
Screw
crew.
Yeah,
That would be terrible.
it's a stage whisper.
All right, so that is 360 gold per person.
Boy.
Tim takes 1,000 gold that he had earlier, just dumps it all over the table.
Oh, he's paying for me.
The man nods, says, that will pay for 3 of you, I think. Close to it.
Well, let's divide up the rest of it then. What's, how much is left? 700?
Let's see. Not camera, calculator.
That's mighty nice of you, Tim.
Are you happy now?
So we have
Oh,
700 and or no,
all this
800
money
left.
I don't care about. It's just gone.
I barely bothered to count it. 800 gold left. So if you guys were just, I don't know if you guys are splitting it or however you're doing it.
Split amongst those of us that are not Tim, since he just chipped in all that.
So 200 piece, right?
Yeah, 200
Yep.
piece. And you set sail. Actually, the next morning you set sail. He has to go gather the crew, hire the crew, stock the boat with rations, all that sort of preparations. You get there the next day, and to your disappointment, the 4 men on the boat are all heavily bearded 300-pound men that are probably in their 60s.
Hey,
I don't see a
you don't know
problem.
if that would disappoint me or not.
And they surly, they all just what's the? how do you say
They're what
that?
we call bears.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's a ship full of bears.
I said there were bears out there, but I didn't know there would be bears in here.
Oh, for the love of goodness.
Good thing I got my cloak.
They're not very friendly. They just sort of, in a surly fashion, just sort of nod to you and show you to your quarters. And they just sort of mind the boat, keep to themselves. And you guys spend a day and a half on the boat.
How big is this boat?
Not terribly big. There are 3 rooms down below. The entirety, all 4 of the bears, all stay in one of the rooms. They've got hammocks in there. The other 2 rooms are designated for the actual people that they're transporting. And they've got
Just us?
Yeah, you guys. You're the only ones on the you 5 and those 4 are the only ones on this boat right now.
Brandon and I take the biggest room available.
Okay. They're both the same size.
Is this boat small enough to where we're all going to be hating each other in 1.5 days?
Perhaps. Depends on...
We'll be eating one of the crew members 3 days in.
Bryces would like to practice her polymorph on her bag of tricks.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's an awesome idea! Holy shit! I didn't realize that. You have a never-ending supply of summoned creatures that you can turn into giant fucking monsters. Holy crap! Look at the DM just like freaking out right now.
I'm thinking about it. It's interesting.
I hadn't even thought of that. That's amazing.
I don't see any reason why that wouldn't work. That's okay. All right, we'll see how that pans out.
And you're a T-Rex, and you're a T-Rex.
I'm pretty sure polymorph is concentration, though, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
You can only do one.
So only one T-Rex, only one bag of trick polymorph T-Rex at a time. Yeah.
Enjoy it while it lasts, Heather.
That's right.
For the bad hammer.
That's why I had to get it
Next
in
week,
now.
I've reconsidered the rules, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, so unlike your guys' normal trips where you're walking by foot or by a horse, you guys don't have anything to do during this time. Like, you're just literally sitting in your rooms, or you can go up on deck and just look at the river.
That's not good for Bryces.
Yeah.
Can we play Five Finger Fillet like on what was it?
Aliens?
The one of the alien movies? Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Except I'm super bad at it.
Just all his digits are gone.
Just, ow!
No, it was when Waylon was doing it to someone else.
Yes, it was. Yeah, he was doing it to someone else.
So someone else's fingers are just gonna be all gone.
Well, if you're bad at it, who's gonna want to do it with you?
They won't know that.
He gets to do it once.
Yeah, you do it. You do it once. One of the sailors agrees to put his hand. He thinks it's funny because he doesn't know what you are, so he puts his hand out and you immediately just stab his hand.
Roll for it.
Yeah. And he just pulls the knife out and just sort of just curses you under his breath and wanders off and won't talk to you anymore.
That's it?
That's...
Holy crap, these guys are like stoned.
Fucking townies.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a 60-year-old man. He's got like scars all over his body. He's been stabbed in the hand before.
I'd like to try to turn one of them into a frog.
That's a Tuesday for him.
Now hold on. You're gonna polymorph one of them into a frog? These guys are eventually going to get hostile.
Hey, we paid for them.
That's right.
There are men.
You put a psychotic tiefling on a boat and told her she's bored. What did you think was going to happen?
Okay. Are you doing...
This money means I own you.
Oh, God.
We're on this boat, we're outside the laws of humanity.
Yeah.
This is international waters, right?
Are you
The river.
Yeah, you can clearly see land.
You just see the land. You see the roads as the people driving by. We're on the road out here.
Get the cocaine out now, everybody. Like, what are you doing?
Are you actually polymorphing one of them, Bryces?
No, I
Okay.
won't do it. I don't want you to nerf my polymorph next week.
Just find random animals that she's pulled out and
Yeah,
like change.
pulling animals
It's
out.
just like,
Yep.
The sailors, when they see you doing this, just sort of stare at you horrified and then go back to their business.
I smile menacingly. Say who wants a turn?
They're huge animal rights activists.
That's right. You don't know. After that day and a half, you guys make it to the where the Mirbar River meets the Black Raven River, and they turn north, and the terrain gets considerably more icy. And another day and a half, and after about a day going down this river, the terrain is significantly icy to where like the river itself has a sheen of ice on it. The boat's just easily breaking through it. It's not thick, but the water is freezing over. How do you guys spend the next day and a half? What weird stuff are you doing in that time period?
I mean, I've probably probed all their thoughts by now. So.
Okay, probe their thoughts. At the end of that time, you guys arrive, and the river just seems to dwindle into the mountains, and the ship can go no further, and it pulls over. The captain says, Raven Rock is 5 miles north.
5 miles. And there's no signs of any barbarians right here?
Not where you guys have landed.
Alright.
I thought we weren't going to have to walk at all.
Yeah.
So this is as close as the boat will get.
Not exactly a valet parking here.
And away we go.
You guys walk those 5 miles in the bitter cold.
Very carefully.
Very
with Alfred
carefully,
doing his
yes.
sonar.
Okay, yeah. Halfred, you're doing your thing. Let me see here. No, okay. You detect no giants or monstrosities in a 5 mile radius. And after some time, you all arrive at Raven Rock. You guys are all down here at the southern tip. And let's take a quick break right here, and we will return to the party investigating Raven Rock.
Give us vision. It's all black.
Oh,
Yeah.
will do.
I can't see. I can't see.
Hold on. Better?
Yes.
coming back. We return to the party entering Raven Rock. And I will read you a brief description. On the icy slopes of the spine of the world stands the spirit mound of the Black Raven tribes of the Uthgart shamans. Raven Rock gets its name from a 100-foot-tall stone carving in the likeness of a perched raven, sitting in the center of the highest plateau of the mound and facing west. Though this statue is now worshipped by the barbarians, it is believed to have been constructed far before their time. Surrounding Raven Rock are 4 50-foot-tall menhirs that the shamans use to track the changing of the seasons and the movement of the stars. So as you guys climb this first mound, you can see on the mound that you're standing on, which is just sort of a plateau of snow, basically, these menhirs, these large, almost obelisk-type structures, you see 4 of them here, and in a mound in the middle, you see what looks to be an altar, which this altar looks to just be 3 slabs of stone put together into an altar shape.
We don't see any barbarians around or anything.
You do not. You do not see any signs of people. Halfred, you don't see any tracks either, but you do note that tracks might be hard to ascertain in this snowy setting.
Just slowly make our way over towards an altar. These menhirs are just giant rocks?
Yeah, they're basically just like obelisk type structures, large 50-foot tall stone structures. Yeah.
Can I just fly up and look around?
Sure.
Is it snowing?
It's lightly snowing right now.
Ability.
It's not snowing enough to where it would affect your vision.
Let me just fly to the top of the closest menhir and see what I can see.
Okay, you fly 50 feet in the air, and you look around, and you do see basically what you see on the map here. You see a number of other plateaus of snow. On top of some of them, you see these cairns, which I'm not even sure what those are. What's a cairn?
In hiking, they are rocks kind of piled up on each other.
Like a grave marker?
Yeah, to mark a path. Okay. And that seems to be all these are. You don't see any rhyme or reason to these. They just seem to be things that have been put there. You don't see anything on the plateaus that they are on. You don't see anything else of note around them. You do see the altar below you. That once again just looks to be 3 slabs of stone formed into a.
Does this look like the same damn altar at Baron as well?
It does not. The altar at Baron as well was a box. It was a solid. It was a coffin basically, with walls and an inside. This altar is like an H shape. Like you can literally see the 2 slabs of stone are the legs, and then 1 slab of stone is the top of the table. And that's all there is to it. On the altar, you do see the remains of some animal that have been picked clean. It looks fairly recent. The blood is still red on the altar. So it couldn't have been dead for more than a few days. Farther to the north, you see a higher plateau, and standing starkly above everything is the Raven Rock statue. And it is I think they said 250 feet high. Is that what it said? I think so.
Wow.
100-foot tall. Sorry, 100-foot tall raven that is it's a large statue just sitting there in the middle of this area. And then there are 4 more of these menhirs surrounding that one. The 4 surrounding the Raven Rock statue, Halfred, to you look a little different. They look a little bit more
Alive.
a little more polished, a little more structure. These four around the altar look more just like someone put stone here. The four around Raven Rock look like they might have been carved and built by some sort of artisan. And you see around the Raven Rock, you see large wooden roosts built. These roosts are about 20 feet tall, and at the top of almost all of them sits giant ravens. These ravens are fully 6 feet tall, and they're currently the three closest to you on the men here. Those three are just sort of sitting on the roost, and they just sort of turn to look at you, Halfred. And they don't do anything else. They're just looking at you.
Oh, they're alive.
Yes, they are full-on ravens.
That'd be fucking cold.
Almost certainly is.
Looks like they're guarding something. There's nothing around the altar but the dead animal.
If you want to go up to investigate the altar, you can do that. As you go up to the altar, you see more clearly that there's a dead animal. It looks to be some sort of deer or reindeer, perhaps.
Oh.
And it's been pecked. You see, like, where pieces
Blitzen.
of... Yeah, that's right. See, pieces of flesh have just been picked from its body. But you also see tools. A sacrificial knife sits on one end of the table. The knife doesn't look like anything special. It's a curved blade about 6 inches long made of stone. It looks like perhaps this animal was some sort of offering or sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. Any, like, feathers anywhere, anything that would denote that this is...
Roll an investigation check. You don't know. Someone else might.
Not the investigating sort.
If someone else wants to look around, they can, but... Bryces, you see a number of signs, including black feathers in the snow, some fairly recent bird-look-like tracks in the snow around the altar. It looks like this deer may have been put here by human hands, but that the birds are the ones that actually did all the eating and dismemberment of the actual animal. So perhaps this animal was a sacrifice to the ravens themselves.
Kazon, climb up here.
No, I don't think so. Alright. I assume those birds are guarding something that we need.
Do you want to approach?
Did we actually get any instructions in this place?
Let's see what...
It's a place of worship over the remains of an ancient Australian cloud giant library. The library underneath here, apparently.
Yes, that's what Harsh and I told you about the place. Yeah.
Okay. And we haven't seen any entrances to below ground anywhere around here?
You have not.
Wait, Chance can read?
Apparently.
That's giantess.
I think we're gonna have to kill these birds.
Unless one of us wants to be a sacrifice.
Maybe you could summon one of your animals and put it on the table and see if the ravens
No.
will rush over.
Horrible. I will gladly practice turning one of my animals into a toad or something, but I will not sacrifice them.
Oh.
This is why y'all aren't allowed to play my character anymore.
That's right. Yeah. The one time they had access to your bag.
Alright, we can't. And this is elevated position in the middle?
Yeah. You do have to sort of. It's not a difficult climb. Like you don't have to make any checks for it, but it does ramp up into a higher plateau.
Who's good at
Find out what
stealth?
happens.
Yeah.
Not me.
Oh, sorry. You go for stealth.
The ravens are
Fine,
currently
fine.
staring
Yes.
at you all. Just by the
Where
way,
am I stealthing?
I mean, you can try. There's not really anywhere for you to hide, and the ravens are staring at you all right now.
How high is the snow? How many inches of snow is there?
There's probably a solid 4 or 5 inches of snow on the ground right now, to where you all are crunching it as you step. Yeah,
What is the snow quality?
fine.
So I can't burrow into the snow.
Probably not. Just dig tunnel through the snow.
Is it a wet snow or dry and powdery?
It's pretty dry and powdery.
All right, here's what we do. We set up the fortress, we get on the ramparts, and we just start shooting these fucking birds.
They haven't even attacked us yet. What if they're like the ones that are on the tree? Where if we don't break anything, then they don't kill us.
Well, throw one of your summon animals in there, and let's see if the birds peck it to death, and I'll determine.
What part
Is
of
the
no?
most logical solution.
I have a feeling whatever we need is probably where the damned 100-foot statue is. So we want to start checking these cairns.
All right, I'm gonna cast my little glow man. Dancing lights into the shape of a person.
Okay. You look glow person.
Yeah, it'll actually like shape of a medium-sized individual. Will make it look like it's walking.
Okay.
And
Sure.
he's gonna go right through the birds.
Right to the birds. All right. What's
I can add a minor illusion to add a sound to it.
sure?
As if he was actually like making sounds.
Yeah.
I could
Snow
add
crunching.
spirit leeches to the illusion.
He just freeze other spirit leeches on his shoulders.
To really sell the effect into man of leeches.
Okay. Yeah, you guys create an illusory man, and he crunches up the snow up to near where the birds are, and the birds' gaze turns to this illusory man, and they do nothing. They just stare at him.
See, they're fine. Let's go.
Yep.
You know, might serve as
There's
a
no
distraction.
way they're not tricked by that illusion.
Just like that time that they could see through invisibility, right? There's no way.
What's the
There's
intelligence
no
of a giant raven?
Oh, ravens are pretty smart.
They can use tools.
Would a giant raven extrapolate that smartness?
Tenfold.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Let's investigate the cairns first, I guess.
All right, sure. The south, the ones to your east, the ones to your west.
I don't know.
Pick
Let's
one.
go. Which one?
It all seems like poor ideas.
Let's go.
Let's go. I like giant birds. We'll say to the east,
Okay. You all
keeping
hike
our
over-
eyes on the birds.
hike over to the cairns. You guys roll investigation. Somebody, anybody wants to take a look around.
Got it.
Halfred, you take a look at some of these cairns, and they're of varying quality, and they seem to also be of varying age. Some of them, to you, look like they might have been constructed, like, even as little as a few months ago. Some of them are just almost totally encapsulated by the dirt and snow around them, to where they look like part of the landscape. Some of them look like someone has recently stacked rocks up. And a lot of them have small, what look to you to be offerings on the top of them, small pieces of meat, or a little tied rope is put on top of one. They look to be tribal in some way or another. but you don't see anything useful about any of the stuff on top of them or about them themselves.
This place sucks.
I think we should just march up to that Raven Rock.
March.
The ravens still watch you. All right, you guys start marching. As you get up here get up to the top plateau, you hear one of the ravens. You're not sure which one it is. Just squaw at you loudly, but you all look around, and the ravens are once again just silently watching you.
Setting off the damn alarm is what they're doing.
You guys march right up to the Raven Rock. As you guys walk past this menhir right here, I believe it's just Kazon and Halfred. You all see carvings on the rock that look super old. It looks like a darker rock has been embedded in the lighter rock, and it looks to be some form of ancient giant script.
I would like to read that script.
As you're walking on this menhir right here.
Yeah.
You have to sort of brush some snow off the side of it to really get a clear look at it. But what it says when you translate it is 4 stand century, the 5th gains entry, is what the loose translation of the giant is. And beneath that translation, you do see a large circle.
Four of us have to stand sentry. One of us is only going to go in.
Is it referring to the obelisks?
Yep.
I'm willing to read. I want to go to another obelisk and see if it says the same thing.
You go to another obelisk, and it says the exact same thing with the same circle indent underneath the translation.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to walk up to the statue and see what it says.
You walk up to the statue. The statue is 100 feet tall. The carving looks ancient. It does not look like those cairns you guys were looking at a second ago. This looks like something that's been here forever. But it has somehow not eroded or fallen apart. And at the base of this giant raven statue is a carving that says the exact same thing. 4 stand century, the 5th gains entry, and there is another indented circle below the translation.
Is the circle the same on all of them? The exact same?
Yep.
Can I touch the circle? Does it look like it's a button or anything?
Yeah, you put your hand on it, you touch it, and you put your hand on it, and as you touch it, it starts to feel warm to the touch. But nothing else happens.
Somebody go touch one of the other ones.
Alright, I'll go touch one of the sentries.
Bryces, you walk up to one of the other sentries, and you, as you get close to it, note that the circle, the snow touching that indented circle, seems to have melted. It seems to have gotten a little warmer. And you put your hand on it, and you feel it. You feel that warmth also, and you feel it increase just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm good staying here.
All right, everybody fan out and put your hand on these things.
I'll go touch one.
Okay. You guys...
I'll touch one.
Good thing there's 5 of us.
You guys fan out and begin to each put a hand on the obelisks. And as you do, the ravens begin to caw at you. Slowly at first, but as you all begin to put your hands on the circles, they begin to caw louder and louder until the 5th person, which I assume is Halfred because he hasn't said he's going yet.
Just short straw.
Yep. He walks up to this last one, the one over here. He touches it. All at once, all of the ravens just take to the sky and begin cawing wildly at you. Kazon, you feel the ground rumbling beneath your feet. The statue moves backwards bodily. and the ravens are continuing to circle and caw, and the statue continues to move back. It moves back a solid 20 feet, and you see where it used to be very nice stairs made of a white stone leading down into the ground.
Guys, get down here. We got stairs.
The ravens caw at you one last time, and they take off to the east in a cloud.
Oh. Huh. They really were just sentries. Halfred, we might need to cast your alarm at the top of these stairs.
Sure. Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, I have a feeling we're going to come outside to a problem. Unless we can act as quickly as possible. Alright, let's go down the stairs.
Alright, you all descend down the stairs. This place looks untouched. The stairs end in a very wide hallway. As you descend into darkness, the hallway is 20 feet wide, and the walls are made of a very polished, shiny alabaster white stone.
Shiny.
There seems to be no dust that has made it down into this place. I will show you where you are.
Did you see I said alarm?
Oh, did you? You set an alarm at the top of the stairs?
Entranceway.
Okay. Some of you are in darkness if someone would like to cast light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we supposed to be at? Oh, I see, yeah. Middle, bottom.
There you go. Oops. That's weird. I want to start doing that. All right, Kazon. The large hallway ends at what looks to be a foyer of some kind. Tall. The ceiling is solidly 40 feet above your heads. Fine white stone pillars dot this foyer area, and on either side of this entranceway, you see two statues with their arms outstretched. They, Kazon, roll a history check.
I'm not much for book learning.
Kazon, these are giants of some kind. These are statues of, but you're not entirely sure what kind of giant they are. Can't quite remember.
Well, Harshnag said it was a cloud giant library, so I'm like, yes, it's a cloud giant.
Wait, how about me? I study giants.
You can also roll a history check. Well, you can't see them, but if you approach close enough to see them.
Oh. Well, let's just say Kazon told me
What they look like?
I'll describe them to you.
Come take a look. Oh, I still can't see them.
Roll a history check. Halfred. You don't know either. But you're also of the opinion that it's a good guess that they're cloud giants. Halfred, as you step over the entranceway from the hallway into this foyer, you all hear a booming voice coming from the middle of the foyer. It says, "Welcome to the Raven Rock Library and Learning Center. I am Master Leonid, Chief Librarian and Purveyor of Knowledge. Due to the ongoing war efforts, this center is closed to the general public, as we dedicate all of our considerable resources to the study and examination of our much-maligned enemies. We do hope you understand." And the voice dies. The voice dies away.
Oh, it's an automated recording from ancient history. Well, I said it was closed, but it's never stopped us before.
Kazon,
Cautiously.
Kazon, as you get closer to the giants, you can see them slightly more clearly.
Yeah.
You see carved into the chest of each giant is what looks to be one of the giant runes that you recognize. Well, you don't recognize this particular rune, but you recognize it as one of the runes.
Oh.
It looks like this. That rune is carved onto the chest of both statues.
Somebody roll to determine what the hell that is. Well, that means these have magical properties, all right? The statues.
That is generally what they have meant before. So just so you guys know,
magic.
if you guys go to your journal, go to player handouts and giant runes, you can see which runes you have seen. And you guys can also edit any of these if you want to add notes about where you've encountered them, what you think they might be, any of that kind of thing. Some of the stuff I've already put in there, like the one you saw at the grandfather tree and was on the beer rune as well. But you can see them, all the ones that you have encountered thus far.
Which one did you just show us?
Oh,
it looks like a T with a...
Yeah, the one looks like a T with a tail at the end of it.
Okay. We've never seen this one before?
You have never seen this one before.
Nice. Does anybody have like detect magic or anything we can use to try and decipher?
I sure do.
I just don't want these giants
Spell
like
magic.
throw a lightning bolt when we cross the room or something.
Never mind.
Probably should have taken detect magic, but I didn't.
Can I find like a rock and just throw it across the hallway?
You would have to pull something out of your pack. There are no rocks in the ground around here, but just pull like a random item out of your pack to do that.
I mean, yeah, like a torch or something.
Yeah. Okay. You throw it and nothing happens.
Do the runes look like they're glowing or magical anywhere? Is this like literally just somebody carved a mundane?
They do look like they're part of the statue, not like someone's carved them just on top of the statue. They look like part of the statue, but they're not doing anything magical right now.
I don't like it.
Tim, you step in between the two statues, and the runes on both chests light up, and nothing happens. The runes are lit as you stand between them, but you are standing there unharmed. You're muted.
I'm sorry. Were there runes? Are they on the statues?
They're on the statues. They are on the chests of both of the statues.
Okay.
So they're just like the automatic lights?
Halfred, you also step in next to Tim. Same thing. Just they're lit up, but nothing's happening right now.
I'm gonna haul ass across the room.
And why was you scared? It's just a library.
I mean, yeah, but who knows how the fuck cloud giants close their libraries up?
Bryces!
Oh,
When
shit.
you step between the two statues, the runes glow brighter, and you hear a large voice just say, "Fiend!" And from both statues, light pours.
Oh shit.
Sounds about right.
And you and Tim both are blasted with energy.
Ooh.
Hold on just a second. Let me open.
Good energy or destructive energy?
Halfred touches his butt, just pats his butt, that's how he looks singed.
You both need to make a Constitution saving throw. If you fail, you take 18 radiant damage and are knocked back 20 feet. On a save, you take half and are not knocked back.
Oh, wait.
You made it. DC 12.
Oh, so, all right, never mind.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Bryces,
I thought it was 18.
you take 9 damage as the energy blasts into you, Tim. You take 18 and are knocked backwards.
I'd like to use my inspiration.
All right. All right. You're able to pull yourself together and face the blast.
Run through, guys. It doesn't like.
Doesn't like me.
Yeah. Does the energy stop?
It does. It is. It is a blast of energy. Corinne, when you step between the two statues, you hear a large voice boom. It says, "Dragon," and the energy blasts.
Giants don't like dragons.
And the energy blasts out at you.
No.
Please make a DC 12.
What did didgeridoo? Jeez.
Constitution saving throw or what?
Yeah, Constitution. You take 24 radiant damage and you are tossed backward.
Oh my goodness.
And the energy goes away.
Wonder if we can
That was bad.
mask that somehow. I wonder if you're invisible, if that would do, or if they would still detect it.
Yeah, it's probably something to test out. I'm gonna go ahead and cast invisibility on myself now
Okay.
and just continue to walk through invisible.
Run like hell. If you can outrun it.
Alright, Corinne, you cast invisibility. You get halfway through, and the runes do not light up. They do not acknowledge your presence. And you are through.
Oh, that's gonna be annoying when we have to get out of here.
You could just walk behind the statue.
We can try to destroy the statues.
That's just,
Yeah, I guess-
Halfred makes a good point.
Comments and ideas.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even notice that there was enough room back there, but you could absolutely just walk behind the statues, I suppose.
Dang it. Your security system is flawed. I need a firm to check that.
Tim, when you get to the end of this hallway, you see that a curved hallway extends both east and west, and in front of you, the path continues.
The path continues, guys.
It's the most exciting description. The path continues.
You can vaguely see ahead of you to the... Well, Kazon, you can vaguely see. Tim can't, actually. Their dark vision. Another 2 more paths that branch off to the east and west to the north ahead of you, and in those paths you see what look like bookshelves full of books.
Ooh. Circles within circles. Alright, well, I'm still not sure what we're looking for, but maybe it's a book. What's this in the middle?
Kazon, when you get closer, you can see what looks to be a huge 30-foot tall tree with silver leaves. You see what look to be real leaves on it. It doesn't look fake or metal of any kind, but the leaves themselves are a strange silver color.
Huh. Guess we'll start checking out this library. This doesn't look like some kind of trap, does it? This looks very ominous, this rectangle on the floor.
Roll investigation, just to see if you can see what you can see.
Like investigation. I told you, stop making me do that. Y'all need to
Kazon,
be more inquisitive. I can't be doing this
Kazon, you go to investigate the rectangle and you literally just trip and step on it. You just full on put all your weight on it, and nothing happens.
shit. See, guys, I picked myself up, brushed myself off. It's no big deal. I checked it. It's fine. I'm gonna go collect my pride over here.
You step on a trap.
Snap.
Kazon,
All right,
you,
rows and rows of books.
you see rows and rows of books. They're all in that odd giant dialect that were the same one that was on the menhirs outside, the same one that you've seen written in a variety of these places that you've been to. It is giant, but it's an odd old dialect of giant.
Some of this shit's worth a fortune. Are these in good condition?
Yes, they're in very good condition. They're also very large. Some of the books range in size from being 2 foot tall. Some of them are fully 5 feet tall books.
That's even cool.
That you might have trouble pulling out of the thing.
The display window of a library?
Yeah.
If only we had a bag of holding.
Oh, I have a bag of holding.
Well, what's the opening size though of the bag?
Oh, I forgot. I think it was like 5 feet. Is it like 5 foot diameter? Maybe. I have to look it up.
Well, you should likely be able to fit. If it's 5 foot in diameter, you should be able to squeeze all these books in. Well, I don't know what the weight limit is. These books are probably very heavy as well.
It's. Oh wait, sorry. It's only 2 foot diameter at the mouth
okay.
and 4 feet deep.
Okay.
And can hold up to 500 pounds.
Okay. So you won't be able to fit all, like, you probably fit about a third of the books are about that 2 foot tall size.
Do we feel like we need to bring all of these books? What's happening with the books?
I just thought they looked valuable because these are from like an ancient empire.
Okay.
If maybe we could find the right buyer to just sell
Sure.
this shit.
Yeah. Let's grab a bunch. How many books can we fit?
Let's see. These 2 foot books probably weigh about 5 to 10 pounds apiece. So what was your bag of holding limit?
500.
500?
Not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet. So
Let's do some math.
so do that math.
That's right. Get the protractor out.
I'm gonna say you're able to throw about 20 books into your bag, and you look into it, and you think you might be getting near the max capacity. You could probably fit a few more, maybe, if you really found something you liked, but
All right. So I've got
Get
20.
a few brochures.
yeah. 20. You can say 20 Asturian giant books.
Okay.
I guess we'll probably have picked up like the erotic fiction or something.
Just the
I
smut.
like how we don't understand the concept of a library.
Hey, this place has been shut down for a long time.
Libraries are meant to hold on to ancient historic texts.
It's not a museum. And we could give it to a museum, but we just expect to be paid for our work. I'm gonna just take a circle around this whole little circle thing, just looking around.
All right. Bryce, as you get closer to the tree, you see that the trunk of the tree has. It looks like part of the trunk is a darker color than the rest. Don't move, Kazon. I'll come back to you in just a second. You're about halfway through the circle.
Okay.
Bryce, as you see the darker part of the trunk forms a symbol, and it in fact looks like another rune. This rune is. It looks like it's part of the tree embedded in it.
It's not carved.
It's not carved, it is part of it. And Bryce, as you see along the base of the tree, you see something carved in giant that you cannot read.
I look over my shoulder and yell, "Hey, Halfred, come here.
Yeah, what's up?
Read this."
I don't recognize that.
Well, you can read the giant that's written along the base, and it says.
Oh, my bad.
It says the eternal tree, is what is written there.
with the eternal truth.
Kazon, as you're doing a number around the a ring around the library here, roll investigation.
God damn it! Stop making me roll this.
You're looking around a lot.
Let me roll perception.
You're not trying to perceive anything. You can see.
You
can see everything clearly. You can see all the books. You can see the ground.
All right. What am I investigating?
The books. I assume you're like trying. Like, are you trying to look at the books, or are you just looking around?
I mean, I assume we already kind of looked at the books when we were putting them in our bag of holding.
Well,
now I'm just kind of looking around for.
You can read giant, so you might be looking for specifically like what the books say, what they're about, if you wanted to.
Yeah. All right. That's investigation.
Yeah. You make your way around the ring. And as you do, one of the books catches your eye because the cover on the binding of the book appears to be in some sort of like shimmering script. And the book is called A Treatise on the Care and Handling of Wild Creatures. And it appears to be magical in some form or fashion.
All right. Okay. It's a magic book.
It's a magic book.
Does that include like general investigating this area, or should I keep making those rolls?
You could keep making the rolls as you walk around. As you draw that book, Kazon, you hear a voice to your right that says, "Ah, that's a good one."
Good. This is like after the audio tour.
It is a good one at that. Yeah, it's good to see someone pursuing the library, perusing our wares. We haven't had a guest in, oh God, how long has it been, Gerald? It's been
Wait, now I'm looking around.
The voices are coming from both sides of you right now. It's been quite a long time, I must say. How are you enjoying your stay, sir?
Very lovely. Are they speaking common, or what are they like?
They're speaking giant.
Giant, okay.
Yeah.
I'll reply back in giant and say, it's very lovely here. You have a wonderful selection.
Thank you, that is so good to hear. The master will be very pleased that you're enjoying his selection. He will.
This is my first time here. Can you tell me about the library?
Oh, yes, we can tell you all about that, can't we, Gerald? Indeed we can. The master's selection of books is from all over the Empire. Very carefully selected for a very elite audience.
Who is the master you speak of? I'm not from around here.
Master Leonid, of course.
Of course.
The purveyor of this library. It is good that we see someone perusing the wares as simply a bystander. We haven't had any guests in, what's it been, centuries now, Gerald? Indeed it has, I think. And the last ones we had were all concerned with investigating dragons and whatnot. They didn't actually care about reading.
It's a shame what war can do to a society, I suppose.
War, yes, I suppose there was a war, wasn't there? What was that war about? Do you recall? I can't.
Get involved some,
Can Halfred hear this conversation?
dragons?
You guys can kind of hear that there are voices coming down the hallways.
Can I see anybody yet, or no?
You don't see anyone. The voices seem to be
Okay.
coming from the walls themselves.
Okay.
Halfred's gonna walk in that direction.
Halfred, the ring you're in is enclosed. The tree is the only thing there. The voices you're hearing are from that second ring of walkway. You hear, On second look, you're not actually one of the Master's kind, are you? No,
Me?
he's not at all, is he? Considerably smaller.
I never said I was.
A servant of the Master, then, are you? A servant of the Giants.
I am a friend of the Giants, yes.
Good, good.
What's the punishment for burning down the library?
Do I hear other voices down there? Do we have company, sir?
I have some manservants with me, yes.
Ah, I see.
I always have to try. These are dangerous. This has become a dangerous area around here. I don't know how long you guys have been in here.
Bryce will yell out, I'm not a man!
The outside world has not gotten any friendlier.
Oh, that's a shame to hear. The Master will be quite sad about that.
Is the master here in the library?
I don't believe so. He left. Oh, Lord, what has it been now, Gerald? Oh, what has it been? Centuries, I suppose. Times begins to lose all meaning when we're in this darkness and the only one you have to talk to is this fellow here.
Do you want us to let you out?
I don't quite understand about your situation. You'll forgive me. I'm not familiar with your status.
Our
Halfred yells
status?
out, "How dead are you?"
Dead? We're not dead at all. At that, Kazon, a book comes flitting out of the
I love this library.
the shelf and begins to sort of flapping in front of you in midair. This is very good to meet you, sir. My name is Gerald. Wait! I thought my name was Gerald. I suppose both our names are Gerald. I don't know.
I love this library.
Halfred thinks, good thing we didn't steal that book.
Yeah. How are you doing this?
We are servants of the library. I don't know what else to tell you.
But you're a talking book.
How long have you been in here?
Since we were created, I suppose. Isn't that right, Gerald? I suppose so.
Are there actually two of them, or is this guy just talking to himself?
You hear another voice coming from over here, Kazon. So
Okay.
there is another voice.
There's another book somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been alive for centuries, and we've
When
been...
was the last time you saw somebody?
Centuries! Centuries upon centuries! Like I said, time loses meaning in here.
Alfred asks, to you, what is the most precious item in this library?
Oh, that's a good question. I suppose the truly precious stuff would be kept in the Master's own workroom to the north there. But we don't know what he keeps. He doesn't really talk to us books very much. We're more for the common folk, to guide them around. Are there any books we can help you find? Ah, yes, that is what we're supposed to be doing, isn't it? Are there any books we can help you folks find?
Yes. Do you have anything on... Well, I hate to ask you this, because I'm sure a lot of people ask you about dragons, but... There's a ancient, to us now, blue dragon that has threatened the giants. I don't know, we don't know the name, but she's very dangerous. She kills and eats giants. I don't know if there's a book written about her yet, but apparently she was around for a long time.
Kazon, as you ask this, the book that you can see that's flitting around in front of you just flits away and just goes flitting down the passage. Bryce, Tim, and Corinne, you all just very briefly see through the opening just a book go flying past the opening. Oops, I made that too big.
Does it pass me?
You see it coming. Yeah, it does.
I want to run after it.
Well, it comes up behind you. It's made a full rotation.
Oh.
And it comes up to you, to where you are, Halfred. And it says, nothing like that here. I believe they must have taken all the actual dragon-pertinent books into the studies, where they were actually writing books and doing their historical research and whatnot.
All right, I got a list of other topics. Giant runes, Astorian Empire history, and anything on Great Worm Cavern and the Temple of the Allfather.
The book takes off again and flits back the other direction.
You might need the other one for this.
And does a full rotation. As it does, you hear the other book to your right say, "That fool! Of course they would have taken it all into the studies. You won't find anything on any of that information here, except maybe this." And you see a book go flying out of the shelf and land on the ground. And it's the book is called A General History of Everything, and it has on it on the title is in that same shimmering text that you saw on the other book that you had taken, Kazon. He says that might help, but if you actually want legitimate information on the Astorian Empire or dragons, they will have taken that into the studies.
Where is the studies? Where are the studies?
To your left or right. Make a circle around. You can't miss them.
And the master's work thing is
to the north,
around the corner. Okay.
I don't know if you have access to the studies, though. Has the master given you the passphrases?
I'm afraid I have not. No, he is not.
You might want to get a hold of him and ask for access.
Okay. That might be difficult.
As you're doing that, the other one is flitted back around.
Is this General History of Everything book magical at all, or no?
It does appear to be magical, yes.
Okay.
The other one flits around and says, "I didn't find anything. Sorry, sirs."
We're also okay. So nothing on runes. And you guys don't know anything about giant. Like we're looking for a giant, something with a giant rune in it.
I've heard of runes, certainly. The giant magical methods. But that information is not given to the public, I'm afraid. Kept very under lock and key for your eyes only, that sort of thing. Isn't that right, Gerald?
Say no more.
For our eyes only?
But we found a rune on the tree.
And the statues that guard this place.
Indeed.
Which, is there any way to circumvent... Well, I guess we can just get around the statues, so I don't have to bring that up.
What can you tell us about these runes and Alfred lays out the ones that it's...
We can't tell you ourselves anything. We can direct you any number of books, none of which appear to be here at the moment. We can tell you that runes are the Astorians' choice form of magical empowerment.
You are servants of the library.
We are indeed.
Very wise, aren't you? I'm sure you could tell us more, though.
How are the studies locked?
With a passphrase.
And you don't know that passphrase?
No, I'm afraid we don't. It also has to do with the runes, I believe. Stepping in the right place at the right time. I'm not entirely sure myself. Like I said, the master kept that...
Have you seen somebody unlock it, though, in the past?
Seen? Do we look like we see anything? Ah, that's a good one, Gerald. I thought so.
Wait, I thought you were Gerald.
I think we're both Geralds. Are we? I don't know that we were ever actually given names.
Well, this marks a very important day for all. You over here will be Gerald, and you will be Harold.
Harold?
Yes, it's a fine name.
Very well. I'll be whatever you need me to be, sir.
We need you to be the key to opening this door.
I'm afraid we can do naught but advise you on any books you might need to find here in our library.
Are there any books where the passphrase is written down?
Oh, certainly not. That wouldn't have been allowed for the public to view. You have to go to the master himself for that information.
Master's not here right now, though.
I suppose he's not.
It's quite a difficult journey for little ones like us.
I suppose it is.
All right, so there's no books on runes, no books on, and they gave me the only book on the history.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna thank the books and say that do they have to stay in the library? Are you bound to this place?
I believe we are, aren't we, Gerald? I do believe so, sir. I don't think the magic that allows us function would function outside the doors. Ha! That was a good one, Gerald. I thought so.
Keep it up, boys. You guys are doing a great work.
Thank you, sir.
Hopefully somebody else will come in the next few centuries to converse.
We look forward to it.
What would you say were your most expensive books?
All books are expensive to us. More valuable than gold.
Mm-hmm. All right, I thank them and realize that we need to go to the study, apparently.
Harold is not Harold, Alfred. Is going to recite the line that was on the statues outside.
What, the four...
What is it? 4 stand century.
Uh-huh.
A 1 enters.
Okay. You recite that. Is that supposed to mean something, sir? I'm afraid I don't understand.
Ask him about the tree, the tree in the middle.
What can you tell us about this eternal tree?
Ah, the eternal tree, yes. The, bit of light in the stodginess of all these books. It has been imbued by giant magic so that it will live forever. Magnificent, is it not?
It looks flammable.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. The defenses would surely not take kindly.
What defenses?
Well, the tree itself. Should anyone wish to do the library harm, the tree will defend the library. That is his other function.
The tree is the defense mechanism?
So to speak. How would you phrase it, Gerald? I would say it gives birth to the defenses. I haven't seen it do that in many, many centuries, though. You all should have nothing to fear.
What kind of things would trigger that?
Oh, you know, theft, damaging property.
How would theft trigger it exactly?
Oh, theft. I suppose you'd have to get caught, wouldn't you? One of the masters or one of the librarians would have to activate it manually. If you actually damage the library, though, that is another case altogether.
Are there any librarians in the library right now? Or do you mean yourselves?
Master Zalathon was slated to return shortly. He was the last one to leave. When was that, Gerald? Oh, I would say that was centuries ago.
Many centuries ago, yeah. Alright. Nobody's here but flying books.
As you all come in, you all see that rune on the tree.
I like to touch it.
Okay, you touch it and it feels warm to the touch.
So if that that rune means something is like triggered as a trap, essentially, or a danger. I assume that's the same one on the statue, right?
It was a different one.
No,
Oh, was
no,
it a different one?
I'll
shit.
show you the one. This is the one that's on the tree.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the one on the statue. Oh, wait.
Yeah, one on the statue is more like slithery like a snake.
E and S.
All right. I don't think that Z one is on our giant rune thing yet.
It is.
Oh,
We added it.
yeah.
We can't edit
you
it
can't. Now you can.
Oh,
I changed it.
okay.
You should be able to edit that one now.
Okay, I got you.
The ones you know, I put the names in for the ones that you know the names of, and those are the 3 that you have items for.
Okay.
We need to get into the room, guys.
Yeah, there's no way to physically take any of these runes, though.
Not that you can
Or
see on
like-
the tree or on that
They've
statue.
it's like they've already been applied.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
No,
you.
I said we need to get into the room.
Yeah, we do. Which is out here, I think.
Yes. And as you all go to investigate those rooms, I believe we will call it for the evening, because we don't want to trigger anything else at 9:56. Let's.
We fought nothing.
You fought nothing, and you didn't complete any
Oh.
quests either. So I think
Oh.
this was an experienceless session.
Oh dear.
Amazingly enough, unless you count stabbing sailors in the hand as gaining experience.
Always.
All right, well, without any experience gained, but now in the
Why are
depths
we even here?
of the Raven Rock Library. Oh. Thank you to Eric, Heather, Reese, Rochelle, and Raymond. I am Chris. We are here doing D&D 5th Edition Storm King's Thunder every week. We will see you next time.